Alright, so it has been almost a week since the 10th anniversary Game Awards have been broadcasted. We've seen some games that we didn't think could have sequels, for example, like The Long Dark, including Inu Onimusha. I said the name incorrectly on my previous video. On top of that, we got some games that also have early access next year, like Killing Floor 3. We didn't see any games that have any trailers, like the Marvel's Wolverine trailer that Insomniac showed us almost 4 years ago by this point. But yeah, there were some people that were disappointed, but overall, the broadcast or the showcase was pretty impressive to say the least. Except for the indie game side of things, that being the Hollow Knight fan base, being desperate for any news about Hollow Knight Silksong. I mean, I'm not as desperate, but I'm more of concerned whether or not we're getting any update of Silksong coming out. But we're gonna have an update, of course, that being on February 14th, because that's the day that it was first announced, and it's about to be 6 years. So again, I don't know when Hollow Knight Silksong will be out, but I am hoping that it'll be close to being finished. With the development, the rendering, make sure that there's no bugs and glitches, and hoping that it's playable for all platforms such as console and on PC. Now, speaking of indie games, there is an indie game series that I've been waiting for it to go to the PlayStation, and that is the Ori series with both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps. Now, Jess Corden is not an author, a game journalist that plays a big role with this whole Xbox multi-platform thing. Ever since last year, there was some people concerned or making these claims that Xbox games are not going to PlayStation and it's just coping of the fanboys. Didn't say what fanboys specifically, but just the fanboys, the console war fanatics that were apparently speaking for the CEO, when really it's just not making the situation any better. Until yesterday, where I saw this report where apparently Jez Corden claims that Xbox Forever exclusives are over. From now on, it will depend on how long it takes each Xbox studio to have the PS5 and Nintendo port ready. The next Halo, Gears, and Forza will be released on PlayStation sooner rather than later. Now, this is a bold claim. Okay, for someone to make Jez Corden saying this is kind of hard to believe, in my opinion. So when it comes to claims like this, I would go to the source, where I would go to the said person or the article and see if they said something similar or something just like this, to see if this backs up this claim so that I can find this somewhat believable. He wrote this article. Now, mind you, I didn't read this. I just took some screenshots and I told myself I'm gonna make a video about this right after I get back from work. So this was the article being made by Jez Corden on MicrosoftCentral.com, where it says the Game Awards 2024 final predictions for announcements, expectations, hopes, and dreams for Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Microsoft will put the bulk of its own gaming content in its own programming, but there should still be some fun reveals for Xbox fans, particularly from the multi-platform side. Okay, I guess this might be somewhat believable, but then again, he said there should be more fun stuff on the multi-platform side. That could mean like Xbox and PC, or it could mean Xbox and PlayStation. But that depends on what way he was writing this article for. He starts off by saying, "Hey gang, it's that time again. Jeff Keighley is out in force this year for the Game Awards, and the excitement is reaching fever pitch. There are rumors of all shapes and sizes flying around, and I've already posted some expectations on socials, but I want to add here what Xbox and Windows PC gamers can expect from Microsoft and its partners at this year's show. No spoilers though, and yes, sadly, there was no Xbox game that was shown that was getting an award, nothing. Okay, like from Xbox Studios themselves, okay? No game, no AAA, quadruple A, indie game, nothing that won an award in the 10th anniversary of the Game Awards. And that's sad. All right. So I mean, sure, you would laugh all you want, but that's saying something. Like, sure, Xbox have created history, but there was nothing to show for Xbox. It was only like PlayStation and Nintendo for the majority of the time. And it's upsetting. I mean, sure, there are some games that are playable on Xbox, but we're talking about games that are specifically made for Xbox. And there's none of it. With this whole multi-platform business update, like Sea of Thieves, Hi-Fi Rush, Pentiment, Grounded, those were Xbox exclusives that are now ported to PlayStation. So it really wouldn't make any sense that Xbox have made some games that deserve an award, but they're now multi-platform. Like, you get what I'm trying to say here? For what I'm hearing, there will indeed be at least a couple blockbuster announcements initially shared by Jason Schreier on Kinda Funny. At least one is a PlayStation exclusive fans should be very excited to see. Yes, that is the newest project that the people behind Shadow of the Colossus and The Last Guardian were making. However, at least another one of the other major announcements should indeed represent a full multi-platform release across Xbox, PlayStation, and PC. Yeah, and that game was The Outer Worlds 2, coming on Xbox Game Pass, Xbox Series X and S, on Steam, and on PS5. It should spark a ton of excitement if true, although I'm not sure whether to expect this particular game to launch in the near term. Well, 2025 is around the corner, but they didn't say specifically what month and day this game was coming out in 2025, so I understand what he meant by coming in the near term. As for Xbox itself, I expect the vast majority, if not every announcement relevant to Xbox to be a multi-platform affair. Okay, now I believe it. Okay, now I understand why the Xbox exclusives are forever over and it's going to be a multi-platform affair being claimed by I almost said James Cameron, Jez Corden. As I previously discussed in tweets for exclusive titles, Microsoft has its own events coming later. I've heard Xbox is very happy with the programming schedule that has been developed with the Xbox Showcase and Developer Direct events through their own channels. We should be getting a Developer Direct early in 2025 as has come tradition. Why can I not speak? However, there could be at least one announcement at the Game Awards for an Xbox first-party title that may be coming sooner than some may have previously expected. Yes, and that first party is Fragpunk. He continues by saying, I'm not expecting Microsoft's first-party studios to announce any new titles at this event, which sadly is true. There was only like one, if I can remember correctly, and that was Fragpunk. Many of those projects are instead slated for Xbox's own showcases and events. We could see Microsoft show new footage, of previously announced games though. Okay. Next year's upcoming Xbox roadmap is quite stacked for Xbox first party, and they may want to remind everyone of that fact here. I expect at this event, Microsoft's third-party publishing partners will do a lot of the heavy lifting, but I think we can expect some fun beats regardless. Microsoft and its partners may have some Xbox Game Pass announcements, for example, and we do have Bethesda's Todd Howard appearing on stage as a guest, which could indicate some kind of announcement from him, even if it's not necessarily a new game trailer. And yes, that is true. He was appeared as a guest, and including Harrison Ford, who is the original Indiana Jones, with Troy Baker as the representing actor for Indiana Jones and the Great Circle. On top of that, I want to show you guys this picture that they took of Todd Howard compared to Troy Baker's height, which is just it's hilarious. Now, the article ends with the key takeaway Xbox may be looking to weave here is that they have their own plans for content reveals in the near future. From Xbox first party, we have Avowed, The Self of Midnight, Fable, Doom the Dark Ages, and other surprises hitting the ground in the next calendar year. Not to mention the service slate from Activision Blizzard. We should include new expansions for World of Warcraft, Diablo 4, and a new entry for Call of Duty. And that's really it of the article of me trying to find out or figure out if this rumor is true that just Corden is saying that Xbox exclusives are no more. And that is true, with him saying that they're going to be having a multi-platform affair in the near future, or basically next year. Now, with this predictable, or I guess supposed tradition that they're going to be having an Xbox Direct next year. On top of that, a PlayStation State of Play next year of the first month of 2025, that being January, is supposedly true and going to happen because of this way to start the year, basically, for both companies. And with this being the multi-platform change that Xbox is rooting for, and same thing goes for the CEO supporting this, it's most likely to see more Xbox Xbox exclusives to appear on the PlayStation. Notably Party Animals, with this game having a small little update, and that is now PS5 Pro Enhanced. Indiana Jones and the Great Circle having a spring 2025 release. And on top of that, with Microsoft considering that they're most likely going to port Halo to the PlayStation. Now, of course, we're going to have to wait and see for the rest of the month of December to play out. And on top of that, for the month of January to see what is going to be shown for these upcoming showcases that Xbox and PlayStation both have in store for us. And it's really interesting though, like we're slowly starting to see what exclusives are and are not port to PlayStation yet, because so far there's no red line on what can and cannot go to PlayStation. And you already know what I'm gonna say next, and that is that there's still hope for both Ori and the Blind Forest and Ori and the Will of the Wisps to go to the PlayStation. I've been very public about this Ori sweep thing, like before this whole Xbox business update has been public. 2 years prior, I was hoping that this game goes to PlayStation. Now, 2 years later, the Xbox business update has been very open, like public. Like, everybody knows it now. And with that being open, you know, that on the side of things, I really do hope that this marks the end of an era, and that being like Ori going to PlayStation and me finally playing a game I've been waiting since October of 2022. I was 17 when I found out about this game. I'm 20 now, okay? I was in college when I found out about this game, and now I have a job at the age of 20. That being construction, and that should not be any 20-year-old's first job, okay? I feel like it should be either fast food or retail. No, trust me, I'm being serious. Construction should not be your first job. Like, I promise you, on your second day or your first day, you already want to quit. So, with all that aside, thank you so much for the support on these videos. This is gonna be a long one. I don't have time to edit it right now because I gotta go. I'm just gonna record the audio and then edit it after I get back from work. So about that, right after I was done recording my audio logs on the gameplay and the screenshots for this video, right after I was done rendering and I said I'm gonna put this video to rest and I'm gonna edit it when I get back to work, I didn't go to work. Reason why is because there was a car crash in the same route I was going to. One of my co-workers was using the same route, and it was so bad that it blocked the lane. And then we had to turn around, and even if we chose a different path, the other path was like 30 minutes to like an hour to take us to our destination where the bus stops. Neither me, my dad, my co-worker, and 2 to 3 other of my co-workers couldn't go too. And so what happened was, with this car crash, is that the person fell asleep while he was driving. He was working late and hit an electrical lamppost. Now, it didn't electrocute him. See, so far he's good. The person told my dad that he's all right, and the tow truck found out about this car crash. So while he was helping the injured driver to get out of the situation, he ended up breaking his leg from the electrical wire that was part of the lamppost. And luckily, the cops came in. They took the driver and they took the tow truck driver, like part of the car crash, unfortunately, while helping the driver get out of the situation. They're both okay. Unfortunately, they're hurt, but they're in a sustained condition as far as I know. And I found out that the person that crashed on the electrical lamppost was one of my father's friends that he ended up going to school with him. So far, he's okay, as far as I know. But when I found out about the information that my dad told me, I got chills. Like, this happened just now. Well, early morning, basically, before my brothers and my mom got up. So yeah, sorry to like shock you guys with this news. It was a plot twist, but a scary one, that you found out that I didn't end up going to work. So of all that said, I'm gonna be showing you guys the rest of the video and my final thoughts on this report. Also, fun fact, while I was telling the story, Share Factory crashed while I was on the last pieces of the story. So I had to retell the story again on this little intermission on the video. Again, sorry for the little shock and the plot twist. Let's resume back to what I was saying in this video. I appreciate you guys' support and your what's the word, for you guys spreading the word as well, also support from my friends on the Ori Discord server to you guys. It means a lot to me that there's still people on Twitter, on YouTube, like, follow my socials, and they're also in support too of hoping that Ori goes to PlayStation with this whole Xbox business update. I've made more videos of hoping that Ori goes to PlayStation than 2022 and 2023 combined. So with that in mind, I really do hope that there's like an announcement trailer for a PlayStation port on the following month of January. And I don't know if I'll be ready, for that announcement. Okay, I don't know if I'll be at work. I don't know if I'll be staying at home, if I have a day off. I don't know what's going to happen. But what I do know is that I'm going to cry. Okay, and I'm gonna have from Ori Cord, because that's the name for the Ori Discord server, Ori Cord. I'm gonna have people from the Ori Discord server telling me, yo, Ori's on PlayStation finally. Like, I'm gonna have you guys on the YouTube comment section, like on all of my videos. I have a whole playlist for Ori going to PlayStation. On my Twitter, on YouTube, on Discord. My grandma's probably gonna say it, my mom is probably gonna text me, my brothers are probably gonna tell me, maybe not, I don't know. With that little hope I had left, it's now gotten a lot bigger for my optimism to be more shown than having doubts. And I don't think I'm ready for that. To finally see an Ori PlayStation port either this month or next year. That being January or March, but that depends. So with all that said, I'll be seeing you all later. This is Wolf Down Gray, hoping for Ori to go to PlayStation for the 55th, 56th time. I don't know. And I'll see you guys when that PlayStation port announcement drops. See ya.